let's just start it and then we see where we get from there. And then we're going to go into breakout rooms. So first of all, we are here in Women in Drupal thanks to our sponsors. And today we are, this session is being sponsored by Acquia and Lip, which is a digital agency, if I have it correct, in Switzerland. If anybody here is from Lip, then please, come and say hi or send us something in the chat. But to kick this off, we are really lucky to have one of the great contributors to Drupal here in the call, Lynn Camposi from the CMO of Acquia. So welcome, Lynn.
Hey, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I think that, you were going to tell us a couple of things about maybe what Acquia is doing or...
Sure. So I promise to be brief because I know we want to spend the time just having dialogue and discussion. So I'm on the marketing side at Acquia. I'm the CMO. And Acquia's obviously been involved with Drupal for a long time. Personally, I feel lucky and fortunate to be able to participate in the Drupal Association. I'm not a developer, but I am a marketer, and I hope through the years I've helped to contribute to the Drupal Association around some marketing advice and so forth. So very happy to be involved in the Women in Drupal from a marketing side. Just a little shameless plug for a minute. If you haven't been to our booth on the platform, I encourage you to go there. We have all kinds of presentations. Some of them are great partners, some customer presentations. We're talking a lot about low code, no code tools for development. And just some great stuff to offer. And if nothing else, you can come and get some swag. So we do have DrupalCon t-shirts. You just come to the booth and click the button and you'll be able to put in your address so that we can send you directly a t-shirt in the virtual world. And one other thing, just in case you're interested, I know the Drupal Association has some trivia coming up, but we also have a second session of trivia celebrating 20 years of Drupal trivia on 5 p.m. That's coming up later in the week, and I believe that's on Wednesday, and we have some prizes for that for trivia. So again, just come by the Acquia booth if you're at all interested in that. And one thing on a personal level I wanted to pass along, which I thought might be interesting to the women of Drupal. I recently ran a book club. I had never run a book club before. I didn't really know how to do it, but decided to do it. And here's the book that I did at Acquia for the women at Acquia. And the book is called, I'll hold it up, but I'll tell you, the book is called The Confidence Code. And it's a really interesting read. I recommend it. It's a really interesting read. And the sub on it basically says the science and art of self-assurance, what women should know. And it's interesting because it tries to go through some science and some study looking at all different types of women in all different industries and all different phases of life. And it basically talks a lot about the lack of self-assurance and some things that have been gleaned from it. So I just pass it on as like an interesting read. If you're interested at all, I can send you a code so you can download the book if you want to read it. Happy to do that and provide that. And I also made some book club notes. So if anyone wants to do a book club with a group of women or women from your work environment or whatever, or your neighborhood, I'm happy to pass those notes along as well. So just a little side note, I found it beneficial. When we did and advertised the book club, I had 100 women at Acquia. So additional challenge of how the heck do you do a book club for 100 people? But we did it, broke it up into a couple of sessions and in it. So anyway, I'm really happy to provide that if anyone wants either the download or wants the notes on the book club. But I thought I'd share. So there you go. Back to you, Betty.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna buy the book. That's for sure. Does it also? Can we also have it in Icelandic? No, I'm just joking. Nothing exists in Icelandic. So yeah, thank you, Acquia, and for all your contribution and also for your contribution, Lynn. And we are looking forward to the rest of the evening here, at least where I am located. For some, it's even more than an evening; it's almost a night. I don't think, Lenny, we don't have anyone here from Lip, do we?
I don't think so.
We have a video, I think, that we could have shown. Maybe we show that in the end of our, I think we had some video. So yeah, this is just a short picture of like who we are, Lenny and myself, but we're going to tell you a little bit more about ourselves. So I'm going to go to the next one here. So Lenny, I think that you can maybe start.
Yeah, sure. So I was thinking about some, like nice intro, how to explain myself in one phrase. So, and being a fan of Game of Thrones, I thought immediately about I drink and I know things. But as being in Italy, I really enjoying seafood, so I eat shrimps normally. So that's one of the fun facts to say. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit about my background. So I'm from Ukraine. I'm a citizen of the world as lately, like during last couple of years, I'm moving more often that weather in Amsterdam is changing. I'm working with Drupal since year 2013, and the first Drupal event that I attended, it was DrupalCon Lviv back in Ukraine in 2014, which was quite amazing experience. And that's probably when was the first time that I thought that I really want to not just attend as a member, but I really want to do something more than that, to help in organizing events of the kind, because feeling of the Drupal community, that was something that still makes me stuck with you lot. And yeah, in February 2018, it became true. I started to work together with an amazing team of DrupalCon Kiev, and it's been a couple of years already that I am part of the org team. And I was lucky enough to attend also the advisory board for DrupalCon Europe this year, which I'm absolutely honored to be around here.
Thank you.
And yeah, like the background, the last line is a lawyer, but I think that's so we can discuss that a little bit more in details, like how it happened to go from law to Drupal. So that's a different story. So thanks, buddy.
So then we can do like a question to the round here. Do we have any other lawyers here? If there's any lawyers, please raise your hand. Okay. No, don't see many. But maybe we can ask a question like, do we have any event organizers here? Maybe you can raise your hand, event organizers. Yeah, Stella, I see you. Surabi. Yeah. And Leslie, you somehow. I will raise the hand for you. Okay. And I'm not gonna ask if we, and Stella, yeah, I'm not gonna ask if we have more people in here that like drinking sometimes. So like, let's skip that one. So thank you, Lenny, and thank you for your, continuous contribution. This is also a really good example of somebody who comes in with a background that is not related to code and actually starts participating still and becoming really active in the community, both in your local community and of course now in the European community. I have a short about my journey here. So I am Icelandic. I live in Germany though, and my background is actually computer science and engineering, and that's how I got to love Drupal in 2007, because that was a technology that we thought was just really cool. So in 2011, I co-founded a company called Onex Internet together with my husband, who is there on the photo. And during that time, we also had these two little kids. So it went a little bit slow in the beginning, but it was actually a great thing to have children at the same time as like opening up a company, because we were really flexible during that time and our own speed. And after that, actually, I didn't know that there was a Drupal community. And I don't even know about you, but in 2013, I had been involved with Drupal for 6 years, and I did not know there was a Drupal community. I knew this Drupal.org and I knew the issue queue, and I could like participate in that, but I did not know that the people who are here existed, that there was actually some meetups happening, or somehow this message, went away. So I heard that there was this event in Frankfurt happening in 2013, or in Essen here in Germany. So I went to that, and then I realized that there was actually a lot of people in Germany doing Drupal, and that opened up this, what Lenny said earlier, a love for not just Drupal, but also actually that there's people like-minded that have interest for the same thing. So I just got sucked into that community part, starting by going to all the Drupal camps in Germany, and then of course like starting to organize some of those events. And I think that maybe even we have Kerstin Polte here. She's also from the Frankfurt community in Germany. So hi, Kerstin. And we also have like Ela and others. So suddenly there was a group of yeah, hi. Suddenly there was a group of other people that are that actually were doing the same things, and that was amazing. So what we of course started to do after that, when the Drupal Association decided to like do a pause for DrupalCon in Europe, the community stood up together, and I was doing that together with like a big group of people from everywhere in Europe. Then the Splash Awards, the Drupal Business Germany, the event organizer board that I'm doing with Leslie. And then, of course, now lately in the last 2-3 years, I've mainly been focusing on the Drupal Association, where I'm a board member, and also DrupalCon Europe in the past couple of years, where I'm helping with the organization of that and working together with Connie and the DA. But most of the time, when I'm not here in front of the computer, I'm hanging out with these people on the picture, and they come with us to Drupal events, and they already know, like, just because Lynn is here, Acquia, they have Acquia, bags, they have, all the stuff like sunglasses from Acquia, they have pens from Acquia because they've been to all these conferences, and they can really relate to the brands in the Drupal community, which I think it is pretty cool of this age. And of course they know like many of you. So I think it is great to be able to be part of a community that is actually also family friendly for those who have families. But most important, to just have a really good friends. And that's actually why we are here, which brings us to the next slide. I just put up, or Lenny and I, we just put up a slide of some of faces that we have gotten to know in the past years, just by being here and coming again and again to this type of events. And which brought us to the point of like, why are we here? Lenny, why are you here? Why are you participating in this networking event today? What brings you to here?
Well, indeed, I've been thinking about like how we can empower one another. So to me, Women in Drupal is about sharing and empowering. So it's a safe space where we can share our thoughts. That's the area where we can, in times that are pretty frustrating, it's a chance to remind that we are, all of us, we are relevant and we are being heard. And yeah, of course, like the thing that you were referring to, like how we, especially these days, we face this challenge, how we can combine our work and real life. Some personal life, because sometimes these walls are sort of there is no like clear division anymore. So, but first of all, first and foremost, it's sharing and empowering. I would say that.
Yeah, and I see also here that we have many of those people who are here on the slide. We have Stella here. Even in video, we had Rachel here before. Audra, the chair of the Drupal Association. Hi, Audra. We have Heather here, the executive director of the Drupal Association. Antonella, I see here also working for Nestle. Also part of the program team of the DrupalCon. So one of the people who have been reviewing hundreds of sessions, coming in and approving them and connecting to those who are going to be talking. So thank you for doing that, Antonella. We also have Leslie here. She's also in the community elected in the Drupal Association board and a long-time organizer of events in Boston. And of course, like just if you've been to a US event, you know, you've met Leslie because she is always there and helping out and making sure that everything happens. Correct, Leslie? Yeah, and part of the event organizer board. Where are you now? Are you now in Massachusetts?
Yes, I am. And I actually wanted to say Women in Drupal. I went to Women in Drupal at my first DrupalCon in Denver back in 2011 or 2012. And that's how I found out about the Drupal community. So this is a great session. Never miss it. It's a great opportunity to meet folks and to find out about the community.
Yeah. And then we also have Surabi is also here. She's probably now in India. She's up here in a great photo here up in the middle. Surabi, yeah, I see you. It's probably a little bit late for you now. Maybe even night already. And Sophie, you know, calling you all on the stage here. Sophie, you're most likely in Budapest at the moment, correct? And did you already do your session, Sophie?
No,
DrupalCon?
no, it's going to be on Thursday in the morning.
Okay. So Sophie is also, you know, has been part of the community here in the European, very strong community lead here in the community in Europe. And Sophie, you were also part of this amazing Drupal camp called Ironcam.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen anytime soon, I guess. But yeah, it was a fun thing to do.
So can you tell us a story, Sophie, like for us that maybe don't know, like why is it, like what did Ironcamp stand for? Is that, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So the idea for Ironcam came, I don't even remember how it started. I remember that it started in 2014 at the DrupalCon in Amsterdam. And it was just like popped out of from my head that I live in Hungary. So it's Central Eastern Europe. And the idea was that like we have really good developers and people, good skill set, everything here in this part of Europe. So we wanted to show what we can do. And it sounded like a good idea that we could organize a Drupal conference where we can actually all do it together. So I remember that it was my very first DrupalCon, and I just went on the stage at the community summit and I pitched the idea. And suddenly I had a bunch of people from, I think, Serbia, Romania, Poland, I think, in the group. And we started chatting about like what we want. And the idea of Ironcamp, the name came because we are all like countries behind the Iron Curtain. So it's a historic name. And then we wanted to organize an event in Budapest in, I think, 2015, and we had to like delay it because of like ideas. We had to work more on it. And then we organized one in Prague in 2016, which was really nice, above like 300 people, not just from like Central Eastern Europe, but from the whole continent. And I think we even had guests from across the ocean, from the United States. So it was really good stuff. And then because everybody's life was just happening and we all were pretty busy, we wanted to do it again in Serbia the year after, in 2017. But everybody got so busy, so we decided not to do it. So maybe it will happen sometime in the future.
And would you say, Sophie, and maybe just a question also to many others here, you know, because many of us, we somehow ended up being like, you know, organizing these events. And why is that? Because I see so many faces here of the women in Drupal. And I was talking earlier about Kirsten here from the Frankfurt community. We have been organizing like the Frankfurt Drupal camp. Do we like automatically, you know, are we like organization freaks? So therefore we just, when we see an opportunity to go and organizing, we just like go in there, or like, do we have an explanation for this?
I have an honest explanation. that I was really like selfish and I just wanted to meet again my friends. And it sounded like the best opportunity to organize a conference. We had Drupal conferences in Hungary. We had the Dev Days in 2014 in May in Szeged, and it was a really big success. I think that was the time when the Dev Days like started again. And I remember that when I started organizing another Drupal conference in Hungary, that was the main reason that I wanted to have my friends in my country and see them, because I had no idea where I could travel because of money and other stuff. And it was pretty, that was the main reason for me. I think it may be the same for others too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
call
need
it
to.
selfish though, because I'm
No.
pretty sure that all the friends that were attending the event were also pretty happy and lucky to have you there. But my theory is like that women are really good in multitasking. So
Yeah, and which brings me to the next point. My daughter, like you saw earlier, she's using a wheelchair, and she just came to me and said that she needs help in the bathroom. I'm gonna jump up for 1 minute, but Lenny, maybe you can help me to set up the breakout rooms, because we really just wanted to put in a breakout room for, or we should maybe look at the YouTube video. Maybe you can try that out. I'm back in a minute.
yeah, sure.
Lenny, improvise here.
All right, so indeed, breakout rooms. Let me see what we have here.
Hi, everybody. So maybe I'm just going to be sharing my screen for a second so that we can all see the video from Lip, who is also sponsoring the event, so that we have a minute and a half of a video presentation of Lip.
Great, Cecilia. Thanks, Cecilia.
Give me a second, because I need to put the screen and the sound on, of course. Here we go.
Chez Lip, on développe des sites web, des plateformes e-commerce, des applications mobiles aussi, du back-end au front-end. On donne vie à vos projets, tout simplement.
User experience is a package. It's intuitive user guidance, logically display content, and exciting design. And no matter if it's in the initial workshop or later during the project, it's your client who we care about.
Lip ist keine gewöhnliche Digitalagentur, sondern ein Partner, der uns und unsere Bedürfnisse versteht.
Seit über 10 Jahren setzen wir unsere Projekte in enger Zusammenarbeit mit unseren Kunden nach agilen Methoden, nach Scrum um.
Die agile Methodik erlaubt uns, komplexe Vorhaben einfacher zu verstehen und eine kurze Iterationen termintreu und budgettreu einzuführen.
On développe des solutions sur mesure pour nos clients.
Wir testen fortlaufend, wir lernen fortlaufend zusammen.
And our aim is not only to make your solution, product or services look nice, we also help you to develop a brand to be remembered.
So hopefully you
Thank
could
you.
see that. Here we go.
It was really good video, actually. It's great to have such a sponsors with us, to be honest, because indeed, rememberable brand is something that all of us perhaps should work on and are working around on a personal level.
Yeah. So I think that we are going to be trying out to put the, we have, I think, 4 breakout rooms. So feel free to, so we're just, so what we're going to be doing this for 10 minutes, we're going to do a breakout session where maybe people can get to know each other a little bit better than in a larger group like this. And then we will just try that out probably until we don't have anyone left. So feel free to just jump in and jump out, and we are just gonna do our best here on this platform here. So I am trying to figure out how I assign people to breakout rooms, but I'm just gonna start, and then we see each other in 10 minutes again here. So I'm just doing it like, one after another. I think I have to do it. I was hoping that I could do it randomly, but
I'm helping you out, so I'm adding to randomization to your plan.
perfect. So I hope you get a good room all. So, and then I think we have everyone. Not everyone has joined the room, but Lenny, maybe you just go to number 1.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see. There's nobody, I think, in room number 3. So, go into room number 2. I will then go to 3.
Okay, I'm going then to room number 2.
We were, well, the last thing we talked about, we were just talking about professional development opportunity, individual professional development opportunities to get more exposure within our own jobs or development in areas that we, may not do day to day in our work. So I was curious to hear from other people, like what they did and what they were kind of looking for. So.
And Sophie, you're gonna go. Yeah. We're also we are probably not doing any more of, we're just gonna check out if there's anybody hanging out in the hallway track. But so in the, I'm curious to hear, Stella and Audra, have you two met before?
I think we have. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
You're both in the same, on the same,
We're
almost.
across the water. I'm in Scotland. She's in Ireland. So
yeah, no,
I'm
completely different.
I really I recognize the name. I've heard you through the community. I'm not sure that we've met. I just don't recognize your face. So I'm not sure if we did or not.
So we figure out that so Kirsten and I, we are actually in the same state in Germany. I think Kirsten, you're still here in Mainz or Wiesbaden or Frankfurt.
Yes, in Mainz.
Yeah. So then we are not in the same state. Anyhow, we are 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
And then Antonella, are you in Barcelona?
Yes. I'm in Barcelona. I'm originally from New York, but I've been living here 15 years. So
amazing. So Alvaro is also in the North Spain area. You're of course not in the North Spain, but you're both in Spain.
Yeah,
right, the different
I'm
sides
from
of the
Barcelona.
North. Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Barcelona, but I live in Huesca now.
Okay. Oh, okay. Not too far.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we were, and then of course Aaron, he's also in Scotland, Audra. Do you know Aaron?
I'm sure we've met at a DrupalCon, or maybe did we meet at Drupal Camp Scotland? Maybe?
Possibly. Yeah, because I sit on the Drupal Scotland committee, so quite involved in local associations. So it's quite possible. It's great to see another person from Scotland here because it's not always often. So
Audra is also a little bit like Antonella. She is actually originally from the States, I've heard.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Texas originally, but I did live in New York before I moved to the UK. So cool. Yeah. Yeah, but in Glasgow now, that's my kind of permanent home now. So where are you, Aaron?
I'm over in Edinburgh, so there is I'm now immediately kind of repulsed by the fact you're from Glasgow because of natural rivalry. But Glasgow is a nice place, and of course we do have some of the the meetups that we do in Scotland or we did pre-COVID, because we haven't had a chance to obviously have them. We tried to do some. I know. We'd have them in Edinburgh usually, but we were trying to get them sort of all over the place so that people could join in remotely and in person. So hopefully we can get some of the Glasgow stuff started up again. It'd be good.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I will be spending quite a bit of time end of the years in Scotland. So if we will get to the point of physical events, I will be happy to help out.
Yeah.
We might have. We had a Drupal Scotland committee meeting last week, and we provisionally discussing the possibility of doing an in-person Drupal camp in Scotland, which we haven't done since 2019. So it's possible in 2022 there'll be a Drupal Camp Scotland again, but no, I can't make any promises yet.
Can I tweet it? No, I'm joking.
Not yet.
Yeah, I think like 2022 is promising already, because DrupalCon Europe, we already got the date, so it's going to be on the 4th of June. Nice. So if anyone is feeling like checking out Ukraine in summer, you are more than welcome.
Of course, we all are.
Yeah.
And what is really, really cool, so Aaron is working for the University of Edinburgh, which is one of the largest, or like, one of the end users who are extremely, like having extremely many Drupal sites.
Yeah, and we have a bit too many.
I think like over 1,000 or something, and then like all the editors, I think they have a ridiculous amount of editors working with the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our central website is one huge monolithic Drupal 7 site split into all of these sort of subsites, but not in the traditional Drupal subsite way. Of course, we built our own custom subsite system, because why wouldn't we? Because
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but no, we've got a new project going on, and we're kind of completely ripping it apart effectively, and starting from scratch with Drupal 9, which is really exciting. So yeah, that's it's really great to be. I'm really quite closely involved in that, so it's really exciting stuff.
Oh, that's exciting, yeah.
And which is like, because I mentioned it because Antonella is also part of a team that has like probably also thousands of websites, or at least hundreds of sites.
No, 1,500 for sure.
Yeah, can't even imagine.
You could probably should compare our list to see who's got the most.
That would be interesting, yeah.
But I think like so Audra, you're the chair of the Drupal Association, and I don't think that neither Nestle nor the University of Edinburgh are part of the Drupal Steward program. Actually, Nestle is through the hosting that they host with Pantheon and Acquia. And the University of Edinburgh still, I think, hosts themselves. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we have we did a lot of on-premise. We're slowly moving more and more towards sort of the cloud-based stuff, but it's it's a very monolithic organization that moves at a snail's pace. So we're getting there, though. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Albert, I see you have a future woman in Drupal.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Yeah.
I have to drop off. Sorry, I have to drop off. I've got to go help with dinner. But thank you very much for putting this on. Take care, everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice seeing you, Audra.
So who is working on Nestlé?
I am.
Okay. I know a guy there, Diego Barroso, is on the CMS. He's a project manager of CMS.
Who? Diego Barroso. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We work with him.
Yeah. Nice.
I see Mario got a company over there.
Yeah. It's my daughter, Africa. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Well, I'm not working for Nestle, but I'm taking care of a lot of Nestle websites actually.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Through what? Oh, wait, yes. I
worked
do
with you
recognize you now. I was
before.
like, I kept seeing your name today. I'm like, I know her from
Yes.
who do you work with? Which agency?
Oh, Cocomore.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yes, I'm taking care of a lot of Nestle websites.
Yeah.
It's actually my main job.
Oh, great.
At
Okay.
Cocomore as a content editor and interface between all the departments. Yeah, so Nestle Corporate also. So I remember working with you back then.
Yes.
2 years ago or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I had like a complete disconnect, but yeah, it made sense.
Yeah. Nice.
No, it's really like the team here in Germany is actually located in the main team here in Frankfurt. So the Nestle team. So,
yeah.
We are also like maintaining the Maki DE page and yeah, so like, and I think Cocomore is even taking care of the maintenance of that, but we are doing the whole feature development for it. So it's actually,
oh wow,
really cool how we could be working together all.
Yeah, this is the ecosystem that we've had to create, and I'll be talking about a little bit on Thursday in my session. So
yeah, I saw it. I saw it. And
What time is your session?
Is it in the morning?
There's 11 o'clock CEST time.
What's it called?
The Linus Starter Kit, managing a global distribution, something I forgot already, for a global organization.
Definitely going to join that.
Basically, this, how can they manage this? So I think it is amazing what Nestle is also doing in the security scans and like, it definitely doesn't make the stuff happen quickly, but you are really like making sure that nothing is going past to when it goes through production. It's amazing to see the process there.
Because it's a highly visible target, so we have to be secure.
Yeah. So like every single, like almost if you're just like changing the color of the button from being pink to green, it just takes like forever to get it through, like accepted through the security scan and all that. So.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Had that before.
And we have somebody here also just joining from Barcelona as well. Hada, you want to show yourself, or are you just here to check out what is happening, or calling from close to Rambla, Barcelona?
Oh, really?
Oh, I know her.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, it took me a while. Thank you.
It took you a while. You mean you're only 1.5 hours late?
Yes.
Antonella is also in Barcelona.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Who are you working? Are you working with an agency here, or?
No, I work with One Next Internet with Buddy.
Ah, okay. But you're based here. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Alvaro is from Barcelona.
Yeah.
Okay, we seem to be taking over here.
And Stella and Kirsten and I think we were all at the last DrupalCon Barcelona. At least Stella was probably there.
I was there in 2015, but I think I missed out on the one in 2007. It was previous Barcelona, but yeah.
So we just did Hada, to give you like this is what we were actually like going to be closing here soon.
What?
But we just did like a breakout, and after like having a little bit of technical problems in the beginning.
Yeah, I saw.
But then I see that there is actually in one of the hallway tracks there is still 7 people. Did you go to that one, Hada?
Yeah, just earlier today.
Yeah. But that's actually nice that there are still people hanging out there. Probably the usual suspects, like we talked about Iron earlier.
Yeah, you know what, buddy? We also picked up the topic within our breakout room. That's indeed one of the goals that we had in front of us was like to try and connect people as much as possible during this DrupalCon. So, I mean, if people are still hanging around and talking to one another, I think it's a good sign.
I agree. And I think like, from my perspective, because I need to go and finish my food and bring the kids to bed because my husband left me alone this week.
Oh, crazy.
And I need to go to DrupalCon Belgium also.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I think that I've organized a babysitter to have a sleepover.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like 2 years of pandemic, and then it finally stops, and then we are both out in the same week.
Oh, wow.
It's like
There's a lot
being
going
fa-
on this week. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been better to organize this.
Are you going in person, maybe, to Belgium, or is it online?
I am.
Okay.
So that's why like I'm so excited about it. So Drupal Camp Belgium is happening on Wednesday and Thursday.
Wow.
And Root from the Mautic community is also coming there, but it's only 75 people that are allowed to join.
Mm.
But if anybody wants to come and jump in a train with me, it takes only 3.5 hours from here.
I would love to go to Ghent, go back to Ghent, but not this week. I can't. When is it, next weekend?
Yeah, I'm like very tempted. And this morning when they were talking about on the main stage of the Drupal camps that are happening right now, it's like, oh, you know what? Next year I'm gonna go to all the camps and go across Europe. 2 years of pent up not being able to travel, because normally I do a lot of traveling, so I'm like itching to go somewhere. So yeah, you might start seeing me all over the place.
But what about the dog then? Then we're gonna miss the background photo.
I'll have to bring like a printout with me to just hold it up behind me when I'm at in-person events.
Because Aaron was telling us that like he goes to every single meeting with this. This is actually a family dog.
Yeah, it's my family's golden retriever, and no matter what meeting it is, it's always my background, whether that be with just a social thing with colleagues or with senior people at the university, it's always there. And the running joke is that one day I'm going to disappear into the nose like a black hole. So
You can have it printed on like a shower curtain, and then you can just go around with it.
Yeah, I could do that. That would be quite funny.
Because he said like probably nobody remembers me or my name or anything, but everybody knows that I'm the guy with the golden retriever.
Yeah, and then like when people talk about Drupal, people talk about DrupalCon Europe in 2021, they'll be like, "Oh, remember the guy with the golden retriever background?"
What was his name again? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Working for some university.
Yeah.
That has like
Somewhere.
all these websites.
Many websites.
So that would actually be a nice panel. Maybe Stella or somebody like. Can you imagine having a panel like with Antonella and Aaron there together talking about like all of their 1,500 websites?
Like what is enough and what isn't enough.
Yeah.
And Kirsten doing all the content for them.
Oh, I can at least count 20 pages. round. But yeah, it's also enough.
So that could be a really good panel of just saying like, when do you actually decide to create a new website, or when do you actually put that as a sub-site on a web page?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Because like, does really every single brand in every single local market really need their own website?
That's exactly what the decisions we have to make. Yep.
Maintenance and overhead of so many sites.
We actually had, when we started off 5 years ago with Drupal, we had over 2,000 sites on all different CMSs. And that was part of the decision making. Like some of these sites are outdated, or some could be put into, consolidated with other sites or the corporate site. Yeah.
I think there's when in the University of Edinburgh, one of the things that I think when we speak to other organizations that haven't worked in higher education, we say, oh, we've got all these sites, there's a bit like shock on their face sometimes, because the organization is so decentralized. We've got 20 plus different schools, all very sort of autonomous units, hundreds of other business units, and so the challenge is that we can do an audit of all the websites, but nobody really knows for sure, which is kind of scary in a way, because there's just so much kind of decentralization. So a lot of my job mainly is I spend more time just negotiating with people than actually writing any code. That's what it's sometimes I feel like I'm playing an RPG game, because it's like go from one person to another person to another person, just endless strings of emails trying to convince people to do something or give me information about something. So yeah, it's interesting.
We're working with the University of Limerick at the moment, and they've a large set of Drupal 7 sites, but we're consolidating them all into one Drupal 9 site. What are you said that you're mentioning doing Drupal 9. Are you sticking with the same separate sites or merging them?
Well, we're actually kind of going a little bit in sort of a slightly different direction, because what we have a central website which has probably over 1,000, maybe hundreds at least, of sort of subsites, but they're all kind of a custom built kind of functionality subsite, not the traditional Drupal subsite model. And so we haven't quite figured it out yet, but the idea is that we're designing this sort of platform that's based on Drupal 9, so that some of them could be they're all their own sort of instances of Drupal, and that gives the sort of business units the flexibility to maybe have a bit more of a customized experience in terms of the content types and the modules, versus where we have this one central site. Part of the problem we found is that we have some of our schools and a lot of our business units going off and doing their own thing, because this sort of central monolithic website is too restrictive for what they want to do. So we're trying to create this sort of more hybrid model of, if you just want a basic website, we can quite quickly spin that up for you, or you can self-serve create that. But if you need something more complex, there's a Drupal platform there that can sort of adapt to meet your needs, and you can start to create your own content types, or you can sort of you can install modules on it that you need from the community. So it's a really interesting, we haven't I don't think we've figured out all of the requirements yet, or all of the kind of all of the sort of things that we'll need to go into it, but it's a really interesting project. It's actually a team that sits sort of next to the team I work in is mostly focused on that one. So my team is more specialized on specifically on the degree finder, which we call it. Basically, if you want to study at Edinburgh, you go onto our site, you look for degrees, and then it's the whole process of how you study at Edinburgh. So it's also really interesting space to be in.
Up like, and Aaron promised us then that when you go through the degree finder, regardless of what you choose, you always end up like doing something related to Drupal.
Of course.
That will be one day a merge request. Yeah, I'll make sure there's a
like, you want to design, you go to the creative part, and by the way, do you know Drupal?
Yeah. It would be a really interesting, I think, at the end of it, we're talking like, a year long, because the biggest part of our main website is going to be the migration. It's going to be, a multi-year project to migrate all these sites. So that would, I think, it'd be a super interesting sort of set of presentations or talks out the other end of it as to, how we went through this process and how we migrated all of our degree programs onto this new kind of system that was this new kind of like Drupal platform that was designed to be a more modern replacement to what was there, which was based on, I don't know, when it used to be a magazine. The whole concept of how you find degrees and how you find information is still based on the timelines of when it used to be just a print prospectus. So it's really exciting, but I could see some really interesting talks coming out of it.
So it's also, I've been seeing a couple of the blog posts. So if you follow Stratos from the University of Edinburgh, he's been putting out like actually blog posts about the process that they're doing now with this new company Manifesto that won the public tender. So curious to like follow that.
we have there's also our future student experience blog, which is it's got some really great stuff on it. So yeah, it is some really great stuff coming out of our teams, and hopefully.
And if you go to the University of Edinburgh, you can also actually find the CMS platform site that has all the information about the CMS platform. I actually think that it's really, I've actually showed a couple of our clients, I've shown them like your website, and I said like, I'm gonna find it maybe for Antonella too. It's basically like internal link that shows you that if you are in the university and you want to create a website for your department or something, that's like how you should do things and think about things.
Yeah.
And
it's surprising how much you can find if you just start navigating around.
Yeah, I know. And it was actually really nice. It was somewhere like, first of all, like I will just paste in the link here for the website. It's obviously huge. But somewhere else we can actually find this CMS platform.
I think I know what you're now you piqued my interest. I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah, oh, there's here what they're writing about, like the road to the new university platform. This is actually what Aaron was telling us. So I'm pasting that link in as well. The introduction to the.
Is
Here,
this
I have
the
it.
is this the secret site you found that you were?
Yeah, like there's a couple of links there. So there's also this like AdWeb CMS, which is their old platform, and then they were actually posting this link about, so I don't know, this maybe somebody's interested in this. So I think I follow this very closely because we participated in a tender and we didn't get it in the end. We were number 2. So I'm really following like what did the other company do that made them so cool, and I'm trying to learn from that. So.
And unfortunately, I wasn't involved in the tender process, so I can't give you any information on it. I have no idea like who won what, but yeah.
I actually worked in universities for 20 years before going corporate, and actually I was at a university when the web didn't exist. I was in the print side, and of course when web existed I had to create the web, and of course it was all HTML. So it was kind of on the job training of learning how to code, basically. Yeah. Nice. But yeah, definitely understand the politics of, what goes where, and
we have some sites like that.
I think Lenny probably also has some experience. Lenny, like you're a project manager for Open Social, and you're what I've seen, at least on the web and stuff, that you're doing a lot of like work for the European Commission, and right, like
indeed,
these European.
We are indeed working quite closely with the United Nations and with the European Commission. That's one of the most recent clients that's joined the Open Social family. So yeah, we are currently setting up a couple of platforms for European Commission too, and the European Union. Also UNICEF is like partially joining because they will become also part of the Spark Group, one of the platforms that we set up for the United Nations. So a lot of work around that.
And they also have like hundreds of sites.
Well, actually, yes, that is sort of true. So normally, each chapter, each department does have at least one site, because they also have so-called communities of practice that would be joining the platform, but sometimes they would be divided. So one of the challenges, of course, for us is like how to separate the content and visibility of the content for certain groups of users. So if let's say you are within the UN, you will see certain set of content, but if you are joining within the UNICEF single sign-on, that will be there will be some limitations also in place. So a lot of funny stuff around that.
What are you using, the group modules or?
Yes, we're using group module, and we are also using the custom roles basically for that.
Okay.
We're setting up that's possible to be set up, and the division of the permission in combination of single sign-on.
Nice. We are doing something similar for one company that has like 10 brands. And we are using the groups to assign permissions to different roles from each brand.
And using also Open Social, Alvaro?
Open Social, no?
Yeah, are you using that?
No. We are
Oh, so
using Drupal.
you're developing that from scratch. Because you see, like basically, Open Social is the platform, the product that allows you to set up the platform. Basically, if you're going with either SaaS solution, yeah, or you can even, if you fancy, feel free to download, like to get our distribution. So we are open core products, and so you're feel free to play around with what we have. We're always happy for some feedback or contribution.
I really like Open Social, and we actually looked at in a previous role at the university. I looked at it for one of our a community site that we quite quickly built in Drupal, actually, just using the core forum module, but it needs a new home. So I might recommend that department look at Open Social again for it going forward.
Yeah, that would be great if you decide so. Feel free to reach out. We're always happy to provide the set up, the demo, and the showcase. Of course, like we are developing new features all the time and improving the core product as well. So we have a lot to propose.
Yeah, it's a really good product there that you've got.
And yes, so for like small or not that small, ambitious communities, I would say, that have certain goals in front of them. I think that's a really, well, not just I think that's our portfolio and the logos that we're getting more and more on our website. It proves my belief in what we do.
Yeah, it's good how it's some of the interesting. I think I saw a blog post from yourselves not long ago about the sort of doing like real-time chat stuff, and how that like I remember like having to have like a infrastructure there to support doing the real-time chat and all that kind of thing. Super interesting stuff that you guys doing. Yeah. I always like that kind of pushing the envelope of what people traditionally think of things that are done in Drupal. So yeah,
absolutely. So we are trying to enable people in terms of the collaboration. So yeah, real-time chat, real-time collaboration once again, so which allows for users to work like in cooperation to work on some documents, to edit them or create the documents, etc. So yeah, also we have great use cases for learning platforms, how they use Open Social in combination with courses extensions. Yeah, don't get me started, but because I will take all the time that I have. as it comes, as it happens when it comes to my work and to the part that we are really proud to be of the team. So it's hard to get me stopped then.
And what is your role there? What do you?
I'm delivery manager.
Okay,
so I'm working mainly with enterprise team these days, but we're also like expanding now and looking for maybe new platform, new partners. As a matter of fact, I was as I think I mentioned at the very start that in the morning I was still in Split because we had a company retreat over there over this weekend, so it was fun. Speaking of real time communication.
Correct. And I see like Alvaro is already cloning himself even more. There's like more clones coming there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hola.
Hi.
This is Mateo.
Hi, Mateo.
Lovely meeting you. So you have like 2 potential new Drupal developers, right?
Yeah,
Shall we start the hunt straight away?
I love develop.
Are you just a game player?
No, he started to code some PHP, like Hello World and this stuff, because he loves the computers and he also plays, of course.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Nice. And then we have also Ofer, new here, joining us.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Oh,
And Ofer,
hi,
are you still,
Alfred.
you're still working for phase 2, right?
Yep.
It's a nice company.
Oh, yeah. Offer and I know each other from the usability calls. So we both regularly attend the Drupal UX team calls. And so if you're on an issue and you see a usability review, it's usually one of us that have reviewed your issue. So
yeah, which is a really interesting call to join if you didn't try it before.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We're always looking for people to participate, and if anybody, well, one of the nice things about it is that you don't necessarily need a formal background in usability, because one of the benefits of the calls is that we have people with different, front end developers, back end developers, and coming in and looking at issues on a Zoom call just like this, and that happens in the UX channel on Drupal Slack. So if anybody is interested in that, we encourage you to come and join us for weekly calls.
Is it about is it about accessibility, or is it about like usability and or what's it?
Yeah, sometimes accessibility comes into it. So for instance, if there's an issue which is looking to make a change to the user interface on Drupal or anything like that, it'll quite often get tagged for usability review. So it's sometimes, you might get a product manager coming in and doing that, but it's a lot easier sometimes, with especially visual issues, for that to be done on a call. So it's every Friday a bunch of us will jump on a call, and it can be any issue really if it gets tagged usability review, and we'll review it and provide feedback from the perspective of what is it that for instance, if we've recently looked at changes to the administrative interface in Drupal, and it's things like is that change something that would make sense? Is it going to be easy for people to understand the text? Is it something that's clear? Is it something that makes sense for core? All sorts of angles. So it's a good call to be on.
Yeah, I was surprised how it has impact on Drupal core itself. So you're just there with your own experience and how you feel about, I don't know, permission page or things like that. And these are the actual things that gets implemented eventually.
I really think like somebody like Hata, who is here on the call, because Hata is like the one of the people that I may know that like sometimes they says to me like, "Buddy, why is Drupal like this?" So she's been using a lot like Shopify, for example, or other platforms, and then she comes to me and like, "This is so complicated," or "This is so weird," or right, Hata? I'm like, you could have a good impact here.
It definitely sounds like we often ask that question, why on earth is it this way? So definitely sounds like a place you might enjoy being in the usability calls.
I think like the nice thing about like somebody like Hata, because I know her really well, like is that it's like she's just not in this Drupal thing, that like she's not part of the one that she's not contributing to Drupal code and therefore has like some kind of a like attachment to that. It's just like she sees it completely just from a user experience, from like a So the conversation that I have often with you, Hata, like when you come to me, you say like, "Why is this like this?" or "This is so like," and I've never thought about it before, but when you say it, it's just like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, remember we even had.
Maybe you can tell me why there's no search feature on the DrupalCon website.
Wow, she has been complaining about the website.
I have to scroll through everything to look for the events that I wanted to attend and forgot to add to my calendar. And
Hata,
we are selling the solar, blah blah, DD, Google, Express.
We can give you for now some hacking around the issue if you want. Not a real solution, but something in the middle.
Oh, is there a secret URL that allows you to do something cool and find things quicker?
I use this right now, which is exactly what I'm doing, searching for things. You need to go day by day and search for it and add it to my schedule. So I use the find within the page. So I only need to do it 5 times for each one of the days.
Instead of just searching, for example, Hatta is the marketing manager of 1X, and I know that she just wants to be able to search 1X Internet and get all of the sessions up there so she knows exactly who is speaking when. So instead, she needs to know the username of the person who submitted the track, the session.
Yeah, which has nothing to do with a name. And
Yeah,
to
no,
sort of to know, yeah. No, it was just on a fun question to end the evening.
Okay, I did find a better hack. Here it is. So you type this in Google, but instead of the word components, you put whatever it is that you want to search, and Google will give you the results of the actual events with a weird title that it always be called schedule. So ignore that. But if you look in the small text, you will actually have the
You're really
session.
selling me Drupal now.
Wow.
Listen, this is probably like a Drupal 7 site or something where we're not taking responsibility.
I think everything on Drupal.org is still Drupal 7, interestingly. So, but I think, you know, the one of the I think, as I was saying, one of the real advantages to the usability calls, because often in the issue queue, it's people, you know, you get a lot of developers talking about things. So you get, for lack of a better word, developerisms coming into core. So the more diversity we get on the usability calls, the better the user experience we can deliver for people using Drupal. And one of the big things is you know, we get asked quite often to input on issues around the wording of text. For instance, recently we looked at you know, if you ever went to delete a user in Drupal and like cancel an account, and we recently were really close to getting an issue committed around making improvements to that particular screen when you go to like cancel a user, and there's a whole bunch of text improvements. But quite often one of the advantages to a diverse group is that we get people where English is not in their native language, and then it makes it easier to do these text reviews, because we can make sure that everybody on the call is you know, is able to represent a diverse group of languages and people who you know, for looking at text, it's like, does this make sense to everybody? So it's, you know, there's a lot of examples where having that diverse group of people on usability calls has been really useful.
Yeah.
I shared in the chat, if anyone want to join these calls, this is the link and the time. I added to my own Google Calendar, and that's how I remember to join.
Yeah, exactly. If it is in the calendar, then you join it, right?
Yeah.
I have to drop off, everybody. Nice chatting with you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Me too.
See you at the rest of the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like you know, I think that I'm also gonna jump off here. You know, maybe we just officially, Lenny, just close the women in Drupal, and there is because I know that the people from Kony maybe also want to go to sleep for tomorrow morning. But I see there's still 5 people in the hallway track.
Wow.
So no, it dropped down to 1. So no, I think we just all have to go to sleep. It's 8 o'clock in my time zone. And Alvaro's Kristin, Hatta, yeah, Lenny, Leslie, not you're somewhere else. Bofer also not. And Aaron, I think you're 1 hour before. You're maybe 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's 7. Although it feels like it should be 8 o'clock. Been a long day.
Thank you for organizing.
Thank you.
It was
thank
great.
you for coming and participating.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Indeed, great
Bye.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.